I'm in a different spot. If you watch my lives, you may recognize I'm in my living room, and we moved my workspace from my little laundry room up to our storefront about a block and a half away. But I still have like one more trip of stuff, which is in our porch up there, to get up to the store before it's fully functional. And so I'm filming today in the living room, and I have a surprise. I sat this week to do all my stuff I normally do on Mondays and plan, and my husband's work schedule's a little off, and so we're just trying to fly by the seat of our pants, and I didn't know what to do for today's video, and most of my stuff is up at the store, and I'm home, and my paint is home. So I knew I had to find something here, so I went out to the shed, and I grabbed a window. So today's upcycle is of a window, and I can't wait to share it with you. It's gonna be beautiful, and I'm so excited because I'm using something I haven't used before. So stay tuned till the very end to see the final results, and here we go. So I've been promising to do a 6-pane window for a while to show how I break down my transfers when doing these. So here we go. I am first of all going in with 2 coats of aviary on the frame, and you'll notice I'm not that careful going around the glass because I will go in our next step and get that cleaned off. It's just a quicker, easier way for me to do it than to tape this whole thing off. And while I am getting this paint on the frame, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I'm the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor and furniture, and I carry all of your crafting needs. I have DIY paint, Sweet Pickins milk paint, Iron Orchid designs, Roycycled treasures, Connie lines and designs, and more. You can find me at www.midwestcharm.co or at my new storefront in Hinckley, Minnesota. I will have the address linked below, and I also have items at Salvage Sisters in Waite Park, Minnesota. You can also find us on all the social medias, and those are all linked below as well. And I always make sure to include a list of items and where you can find them below as well, whether it's on my website or through my Amazon affiliates link. I always make sure to link up whatever I can for y'all. And here we are, just going in and finishing this up. I did clean this one side. I know the panes are dirty because I didn't do the back side. I was struggling with what to do this week for my video. So this is me doing a last minute, oh no, I need to have something to do, and everything's kind of everywhere right now. But I knew once I went out to the shed and saw the window exactly what I wanted to do, because I've been dying to take out that new transfer menagerie, how do you say that? From Iron Orchid Designs. So that's what we're going to be putting on this window today. And I do paint the sides of this. I sometimes go in and paint the whole back side, including like around the windows, but I think I'm going to leave it this go round because it's white on the other side and I'm liking that. So I also, after the paint is completely dry, I do go over it with some, I think what I had was 220 grit paper, and I just gave it a quick sand and a light distress so that I've got some dimension to the window panes. And here's how I clean mine off. I'm just taking a straight razor. My holder for this is up at the store at my work area and not at home. And y'all know Larry. He is my quality control manager, and I left this in there because, as you can see, he's overseeing to make sure I'm doing a good job. And he did sit there the entire time to help me out. So he's doing his job, earning those treats. So we're just going to go through and go along each of these edges and make sure that we are getting all of that excess paint off, and then I wipe it down one more time to get all those little paint curls and the dried up paint off of there. and it's very easy to clean up. And I do have paper underneath there, and I simply fold that paper up and toss it in the garbage. It is the easiest cleanup too. It's just so much easier. So there you can see the menagerie transfer, y'all. This is the one with those bird cages and the cherry blossom branches. And oh my word, is this transfer ever loaded with good stuff. Now I knew I was going to have some of the branches overhanging and then hang one of those cages from it. So now it's just a matter of going through and finding the ones I like and trying to lay out exactly how I want to do this. So here I am cutting out the cage I decided. I did kind of make sure that the size of this really fit with the size of my window panes and that I wasn't going too big, too fat, too skinny. I just wanted something that fit pretty in there pretty well. And then I'm going to get another branch. And as I'm doing this, I also decide I really want a bird to help balance out the window panes. When I'm doing my windows, I like to make sure they're very well balanced, that I have stuff coming in from each side of it, that I have stuff on the bottoms. I just that there's enough things on there that you're not sure what's going on. You want to have, I don't even know how to word it, but I just wanted to make sure that not only did it balance off those branches and the weight of the cage, but just that there's a little bit more elements in there and a little bit more color. So I pick out those based off of the leaves that matched where the bird was because he's on a different type of bush. Another thing I always make sure to do is to not have things floating. You want to have them anchored to a side, to something. You need to have them anchored, otherwise it just doesn't flow as well. So I am going to show you. I measured where that seam was for the window pane, and these transfers have grids on them. So I'm able just to cut out one little section of grid exactly where that piece goes, and I'm not going to include that. And then I'm going to add the other part of this branch to the other side. And I do get a few closer up shots of me adding them. It's hard to totally, in my workspace that I have right here at the house, video this. Hopefully once I'm over in the new place, I can do another window where it's flat and you guys are overhead watching. But for now, this is working. And I'm grabbing that extra little piece. I'm lining it up with where it left off on the other side. And then I'm just using my transfer tool. I am applying this and then I am burnishing it, making sure there's no air bubbles. And then I move on to the next piece. Now this frame was done in DIY paint, so it will need to be sealed. I plan on going in with some just some clear wax on this and maybe a little bit of dark wax. Now I'm lining up exactly how I want my branch to hang, and I decided to move it up a bit because there's some leaves and I didn't want to lose those. So once I get that figured out, I cut off parts to anchor it to the not only that right hand side, but then I'm going to cut out each of the little spaces where those window pane run up and down so that I can get this all placed correctly. And then you're going to see me start from the middle and not a side. Why? Because I want to make sure, again, that I have those leaves that are kind of going downward on the one branch on that full window pane. So if I place that middle section first, I'm able to place it exactly where I want it, and then I can line up the other two pieces according to where it left off. And I'm hoping this all makes sense. Now, normally when I do my windows, I do not seal these, but because I'm going in with wax, I may go over them with wax and then wipe it off. But typically I don't seal these. I just let the people know that buy them just to wipe it with a soft, damp cloth and nothing else, and they will be fine. I have never had anyone complain. I've never had anyone say anything about them, and I've sold a bunch of these, a bunch. So that's how I go about it. I don't always seal it. So here I am getting that middle piece down, and then we're going to make sure there's no air bubbles, and then go on to the bigger branch side, and we're going to get that applied and make sure that it's touching on both sides. That to me is the most key part of this. And it's a little bit long on this side, so I just simply take a pair of scissors. If I had my blade around still, I would have just sliced down with that and pulled that off. But instead, I just used the scissors, sliced down, and peeled off the excess part so that it doesn't go on the frame. I don't like putting these on the frame because I want it to appear that these are outside and you're looking out at them. And if you're looking out your window, you're going to have blockage from where that window pane runs. So you're not going to be able to see that section of a tree branch because you have the window pane there. So that's kind of how I line these up. Then we're going to go in with that third little piece. We're going to line that up according to where that middle one is so that it's all one cohesive line and it flows beautifully. Now, I have done layering on a window. I can try to remember to link that below, but I've done other ones along the same lines of this that I've gotten video of. They're always so much fun to do, and they're so easy, and you can design these any way you want. And obviously doing a 6 pane window is a little bit harder. With this piece, I had to cut it into multiple sections. So the first thing I did is found where I wanted it to hang off of the branch and cut that little section out that was over that part of the window pane. And now you can see I have it there, and I measure where it hits, and then I cut out that one little section. Thank goodness Iron Orchid Designs have these amazing, amazing um, grid lines on there for us to use. So now I'm just looking at how it's all going to line up, making sure I'm okay with this. And then I'm going to do that top little part first so that it is lined up where I want it to be on that branch. And we're layering it a little bit here, no biggie. Just the same way you would do any other transfer. You're going to lay it down. You're going to use your tool to help it apply and then peel off that backer and then burnish it. Or your thumb. All right, then we're going to go in with that big piece, and we're going to do that next. And we're going to line it up with that top little section of the birdcage. We're going to apply it down, and once these are on glass, they're going to stick. You cannot peel them back up. And now I'm lining up that remaining piece, and it fits without me having to cut it. So we're going to line this up, starting with that big section first, and then going up. And these panes, the way they're set up, they're super easy because they're equal to line up your piece against it. So you've got a line to put it on so that you're still going up and down with those grids. So we're just going to go ahead and apply these and burnish. And then we're going to do that big one. And it lined up so beautifully. All right, so this one we are going to peel up our backer. And once I get towards that last little bit, I'm a little bit slower to release it because I don't want it to pull up any of our transfer. So I'm just going to go nice and slow. And there we have it. We're going to just do a little rub down on that. And then we're going to go in with this bird, and it's got a branch there. So I'm trying to make sure it's anchored. And I don't want to cut off too many of the leaves, but I also don't want to cut off this little guy's tail. So it took me a little bit to figure out exactly how I wanted to line this up. So I'm just kind of moving it around a little bit. And I decide, you know what? Nope, nope, nope. Let me do this one more time. And I decide that I'm going to make sure that the tail's in there. So I am cutting off the section that is um, just has a little bit left of the branch and the leaves so that I can get my full bird in there. So we're going to get this applied. The branch is anchored on that left side now and also goes down to that bottom. And then we will add the extra little leaves in. And here we are going in and getting this all applied to our window and lining up the next little branch. These go on so smooth on glass, you guys. I think if you were to try this, you'd be shocked at how easy these are to use on glass. You just got to be sure of where you're going to apply it because once they touch that window, they're stuck. And if you boo-boo and need to remove something, you just take that blade that you used to clean the paint and just go ahead and scrape it off, wipe your window down, and you can apply a different transfer. And we're almost done, you guys. Stay tuned. We have a bunch of pictures coming up. I don't have this hung up yet. I do add D-rings to the back of my windows, one on each side so that they can hang. I will link those below as well, even though you don't see me apply them on here. I'll link those below as well so that you guys can see what I use to hang these with. I typically do, there's like two sizes you can get. And I typically do the bigger ones on these just to make sure that they hold that extra weight of the glass. And our last little bit, this flower branch here, matches the bird, the leaves and the bird, and we're anchoring it down to the bottom right-hand corner so that it's coming up out of that corner. So that each of these are now anchored. We have some balance to our items we applied to the window, and it's not overwhelming. It's just simply beautiful. I honestly can't wait to get this hung up because it is so, so stinking pretty. I'm going to show you guys our final results here. I'll let you listen to some music while you do that, and stay tuned to the very end for my little chat with you.
What did you think of my window? I so love doing these. They are fabulous sellers for me. They have been for years. It gets harder and harder to find some good windows though, but I felt like 4 of the 6 pane ones like this in the shed right now. So I was really happy to get one of those pulled out and worked on. And I use Menagerie, which I've never used before. And I love it, and I just wanted to have the right thing. I didn't want to just do the same thing everyone else does. So I wanted something a little different and to use it a little differently. So hopefully I accomplished that. Please let me know below your thoughts on today's upcycle. Thank you as always for watching, and we will see you guys all next week from my new workspace, I hope. Bye.